What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is May the 6th. Happy Monday, everyone. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, no real data points coming out today. A couple Fed speakers, but those topics, they're not really going to disrupt the broader market. So it's going to be a relatively technical driven day, aside from companies unveiling their earnings. You also do see the fear and greed index at 40, so that has somewhat stabilized. Hopefully it'll start to move up into the neutral territory sooner rather than later. Aside from that, a couple big companies unveiling their earnings after hours, such as Palantir and Lucid. I'm going to be live streaming the Lucid earnings under my other channel, Financial Journey, so if you are curious or interested, subscribe over there. But getting right to it though, Sofi. No official news today, but there was a Form 4 that just came out at 6:02, and that did indicate right here, good old Anthony Noto did buy shares using his own money, transaction code P. It does state that this occurred on the 3rd and 28,000 shares at a price of $6.90. So this hands down, I could be wrong, but this is the highest amount that he's ever bought shares for. So that is extremely bullish. Mind you, I have no idea why it is only up 1.01% right now. This should be epic news. And yeah, this really does suck. I kind of regret selling a little bit, but obviously I've already done a video all about why I did sell about 80% or 90% of my position. I have about 1,800 shares left over. If it does kind of hit a little bit mid-6s, that's probably my re-entry point. But this, in my opinion, is kick-ass news, and the market isn't really factoring that in. And it's kind of interesting, especially when it did come to this time period. I was doing a lot of videos and what Sofi needed to do. And I actually brought up the fact that Anthony needed to buy some shares. So it's kind of interesting timing. But still, aside from that, shorts have been doubling down. Broader market optimism, so that could result in shorts returning some shares. But currently 20.34% of the free float is being shorted. Right now, just really need to watch for this 7-Eleven. I feel like with this Form 4 coming out, it will result in a nice spike up above this pivot point. But similar to what happened on Friday, whether it sticks or not, that is going to be the tough question, right? So watch for the 7-Eleven to hold throughout the day. If not, especially based on my video yesterday, just watch for that. I believe it's 660, and then in between there is also 684. So watch for those 2 points to hold. Aside from that, Palantir is up 4.84%. They do have their earnings after hours today. So right now, Palantir is going through somewhat of a FOMO, if that kind of makes sense. It's not heavily shorted, so 4.33% of the free float is overall being shorted. So a lot of optimism associated to Palantir, but if you're looking at trading it today, right now with it at $24.40, you just want to watch for it to get above this R2, so $24.46, and then if so, then $25.90 will be that next strong resistance. But as it stands, $23.57 will be that next strong support, which I don't feel throughout the trading day is going to be touched. Rather, it's just going to be flirting with this R2 throughout the day. And then obviously dependent on their earnings, I believe, based on at least the options, it's signaling a 10% swing in either direction, which is kind of timid if you think about it, but still something to keep in mind. Lucid is also getting a lot of volume despite no news, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. So it is up 1.62%. Lucid, on the other hand, is very heavily shorted. So 31.11% of the free float is being shorted. A lot of people over the weekend was kind of freaking out because this did drop down to, I think it was 11%, and a lot of people didn't really understand why. So just want to break that down quickly. The reason why it did go down to 11% is because I guess Ortex and Fintel kind of skewed their numbers, and they were factoring, I guess, the PIF numbers a part of the free float, which they shouldn't be doing. So that's what skewed the numbers, because this is just a ratio behind the scenes. But if you are looking at trading Lucid with that $2.84, it is above this R1. So just watch for this 282 to continue to hold. If not, it's just going to trade within this range. But like I said, I do feel throughout the trading day, similar to Palantir, it is just going to flirt with this R1 until their earnings, which is again after hours. So that will be a very big swing because options are indicating a 30% swing in either direction. Moving on, this one, ticker is XBP. This is what they do, so you can pause it and read through it. They did have some pretty good news a couple days back, and I feel like this is still just the repercussions of that, just piggybacking off of that, because the market cap currently is 63.95 million. Their deal that they did get a couple days back was about 40 million. So this still, in comparison to bigger picture, is at a substantial discount. But overall, this company isn't that heavily shorted, so 0.15%, so extremely low for that. At the same time though, even though it is very low, 12.34 thousand shares overall are being shorted and utilization is 43.85%. So fairly low stuff. If you are looking at trading this, like the technicals, it's just so far of a gap and it's been such on a crazy downtrend. This isn't really relevant because it does show $3.19 being the strong support, and then aside from that, $19.30. So just watch for this $3.19 to hold throughout the day. And last one I wanted to bring up is Apple. Even though it is down 0.51%, what came out over the weekend about Warren Buffett kind of trimming 13% of Apple, that's why it's down. And plus just profit taking, right? Any stock that goes up about 6%, obviously there's going to be a certain level of profit taking. And even aside from that though, a lot of people weren't really overly impressed with Apple's earnings. Like if you take out the whole buyback and just the minor increase in their dividend, nothing really crazy. So I think that's what is causing it to go down. And if you're looking at trading Apple though, with it at 182 and change, it is just between this R2 and this R3. So very wide gap, so anticipate a lot of volatility. 179 will be that next strong support. 185 will be that next strong resistance. In my opinion, I don't feel like either is going to be touched today, so it's just going to be a kind of a nothing burger. But still, let me know your thoughts on all of that. I will quickly go over here as I've been doing. I'll refresh the website. So again, as I always like to do, the top 5 stocks based on AI, what they see as a buy. So just generating that right now, and we will see what it says. As in the past, it's typically fairly correct for the most part, about 80% I would say. So Berkshire Hathaway, so good old, it says it's a long. I haven't actually looked at their earnings. I did see that they came out today. Apple, it says as a long, so despite I guess the downtrend today, it is a buy. Microsoft is long, Spot is long, and I did a dedicated video all about Spotify recently under my third channel, and I did actually agree saying that it is a long, and NYCB, so that is a long. So that one's actually an interesting one, very volatile, but that one in comparison is very cheap. So once again, Berkshire, so BRK.A, Apple, AAPL, Microsoft, MSFT, Spotify, so SPOT, and then New York Community Bancorp, NYCB. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. Kick-ass deal, link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.